The Canadian government has dragged a top Indian minister into its web of allegations over the killing of a Khalistani separatist. Canada has now accused the minister, who is part of Prime Minister Modi's inner circle, of orchestrating plots against Sikh separatists in Canada. The claim was first made by the Washington Post and has now been confirmed by the Canadian Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister David Morrison. Now, these claims, along with Ottawa's mid-October expulsion of Indian diplomats linked to the killing of separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, have further strained India-Canada ties. Ever since the row erupted, India has consistently dismissed Canada's accusations as baseless, asserting that separatists pose national security threats. The tensions extend beyond Canada. In the United States, United States has charged former Indian intelligence officer Vikas Yadav with planning an attack on Sikh separatist leader Gurpatwant Singh Pannu in New York. So, amid the strained ties between India and Canada, the Canadian government has dragged a top Indian minister who into its web of allegations over the killing of Khalistani separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Now, Canada has now accused the minister, who is very much a part of Prime Minister Modi's inner circle, of orchestrating plots against Sikh separatists in Canada. This claim was first made by the Washington Post but has now been confirmed by Canadian Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister David Morrison. These claims, along with Ottawa's mid-October expulsion of Indian diplomats linked to the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, have further strained the ties between the two nations. Now, ever since the row erupted, India has consistently dismissed all the allegations put by Canada as baseless, asserting that separatists pose national security threats. Now, these tensions between the two nations extend beyond Canada. If we talk about the United States, the United States has charged former Indian intelligence officer Vikas Yadav with planning an attack on Sikh separatist leader Gurpatwant Singh Pannu in New York. My colleague Shinjoy is now joining us with more details on this. Shinjoy, on what basis has Canada made these allegations that a top Indian minister, has a role to play in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar?
When you use the word allegations, you're actually right on target, because that is exactly what it is, an allegation, without any foundation, without any truth behind it. This actually, if you start building up a story, then you have to continue. And that is precisely what the Canadians are doing. They come up with information, and they themselves say that there isn't enough evidence on it. And if there isn't enough evidence on it, why continue with it? Now you start with blaming India. Then you now say a top Indian minister is involved. All this is actually leading it nowhere, because the Indian government has used just one word to dismiss this, and that word is absurd. Now, if an Indian government officially stands up and says all these allegations are absurd, then there is nothing anyone can do, because the whole point is you are basing this on allegations, and that is exactly the word you have used. So if these are allegations, well, fine. Their allegations are absurd. End of story. Because as far as India is concerned, India does not see any sort of truth in what has come out so far. The fact that India was responsible for the murder, the fact that India actually was also trying to do another one in the United States, all this is not true, is what India is saying. Now, the point is that this has led to a deterioration in ties between India and Canada. And Canada is well aware of it. Canadians are well aware of it. Now, it is widely believed that in the next election, Trudeau, the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau will clearly be defeated. And if that does happen, it will be a sign that the Canadians are also not happy with him. And India will probably be a little happier to deal with whoever comes in as Prime Minister. Because these allegations are being ascribed to the Prime Minister of Canada.
Right.
Who said whatever he did in Parliament. And he is saying all this for political reasons to ensure that he wins the next election.